Blog Talk Radio. Greetings. Welcome to Transitions to Transformation radio show. Tonight is our special Halloween edition. And tonight, instead of being called Reverend Sue, I'm going to go by the name Reverend Boo. We have a very, very special guest tonight. He is a friend of mine, and his name is Daniel Akner, and he is a master psychic and medium. For decades, he has presented high-level seances and programs on crystals, auras, aromatherapy, natural health, and all things scientific and metaphysical. He is the only psychic in the world to have had the honor of working with Harry Houdini's personal divination deck from 1919. Wow, that's an honor. Daniel is also a certified Reiki master, healer, and animal communicator. He has been interviewed consistently on cable TV, magazines, Newsday, and local Channel 12. His haunted 1800s Victorian home has been featured and investigated many times in paranormal documentaries. Daniel is also a fine artist and arts grant recipient. His portraits of the Dalai Lama, Saint Padre Pio, angels, nature, rock and film stars, as well as the beauty of average folk have garnered him awards of excellence, first prizes, magazine covers, and various accolades from the art community. He himself has been invited to serve as judge at numerous art exhibits. Daniel conducts insightful past life regressions in his parlor at home, ultra-relaxing meditations at psychic fairs, and at his supernatural hike series all across Long Island's forests, fields, and river banks. Throughout his career, he has offered his art, time, and proceeds to various charities from women's breast cancer awareness, schools for children with learning disabilities, hospitals, and universities. Well, hello from my heart, everybody. This is Reverend Sue, but Reverend Boo for tonight. And I just also want to mention, I want to dub my friend Daniel Akner as the King of Halloween. He got married on Halloween, and I think that is so cool. He knows so much about it, and I just want to welcome Daniel to the show right now. Hello, Daniel.
Reverend
Thank you for joining us.
Reverend Boo, how do you do?
I'm fine. How about you? I feel spectacular.
I'm, as they say, excellent.
Excellent. I like that. So, Halloween is our favorite topic. And, I just, I just wanted to mention that Halloween has a 3,000-year history. There was a tribe of warriors named the Celts that lived in Ireland, and they lived in an agricultural community, and they were at the mercy of the earth's elements. There was a lot of trepidation and fear about, what was going to happen, once they couldn't produce any more crops. So these Celts would go to the Druids and pray for a bountiful harvest that would last them throughout the winter. And eventually this turned into Samhain. And Samhain is basically the start of Halloween or All Hallows Eve. Do you want to comment on that, Daniel?
I'd have to say what's the most bittersweet for me is that although All Hallows, Samhain, is indeed the final harvest of the year, and one loves it because it really does represent the end of one year and now the beginning of a new one, but the bittersweet part is my wife and I have been we have a cooperative farm we work with, organic, and each year we grow heirloom tomatoes, pumpkins, eggplants, snap peas, you name it, and they get sold for either women's breast cancer awareness, various charities, or sometimes, if it's our own plot, we'll bring a lot home to give to neighbors, sometimes the elderly that can't get out, or families that have lots of kids and it's not so easy to afford to feed a whole family. But again, the sad part is when you're taking that final harvest of those beautiful cut and come again zinnias and all those fruits. I mean, I have them on the table right now, but the sad part is I'm not going to taste a tomato like this again in the New York area until next summer. So it's like, some people are saying to me, how can you eat that many tomatoes? It's sort of like, because I know what's going to happen by January here in New York. I'm going to be pining for one of those tomatoes.
Oh, yes. I love heirloom tomatoes. They have like a very sweet taste. And
they're
I
sweet.
Think
You're right. They're low acid, which is fantastic for people that have, let's say arthritic conditions where you don't want to get, inflammation and such. So that's really why we grow them specifically. But, Halloween absolutely is the honorarium of the final harvest.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. And when the Celts would ask the Druids to pray over their harvest and then the bonfires would start. They would give offerings of fruit and I believe animal sacrifices too.
Well, probably. Yep.
Yeah. To give up, like being that the earth gave life to them, they gave life back.
Right.
As, and Samhain is a transition to winter from light to dark, and apparently it's a lot of people believe, and I do too, that the veil is thinnest at that period of time. Can you explain why?
It absolutely is, and for all the reasons that we just discussed. It's the final harvest. Nature now turns inward, at least in the northern hemisphere. Of course, it's spring in New Zealand, but here where Samhain began in the northern lands, nature turns in, it drops all its leaves. The trees that are very transcendent and can speak to us non-verbally now shut down, though, in an apparent physical way. And as nature shuts down, and all these leaves drop to the ground, and all the flowers now die on the basically the life force running through their veins is now ended in theorem. What happens then is now you can start to hear the voices that have been hidden or muffled under the pseudo-chaos of just people that'll live and have fun and enjoy the spring and summer. So now we have a time to be introspective, to listen, to light a candle, to find our focus, to maybe light a fire, to just get connected, because now we can hear things that, frankly, they've always been there all year, but now it's not even that they're whispering. On a certain level, it's like they're singing. There's a chorus of energy going out there. Especially me in New York here, the crickets are loud tonight because it happens to be quite warm here tonight, which is unusual for October. But soon the last of the crickets will be singing too. And again, it gives you these octaves of sounds and energy you can pick up from the spirit world.
Oh, it's such a mystical time of year. I always loved it since I was a kid, and I think Halloween gets a bad rap all the time because of what other people make of it. Really, it's just it's honoring the harvest, honoring people that have passed on before us. I mean, Mexico has the Day of the Dead, and that's the national holiday there, and where people just they'll make an altar, they'll put pictures of their deceased loved ones, and then light a candle, and they'll have a feast for that. And to me, that's what Halloween is. And of course, the costumes, the candy, the fun. To me, it's all good, when practiced the right way.
And that's therein lies the key. Same thing with, let's say, Ouija boards or oracle boards or divination boards. They really can be quite conducive to accessing the spirit realm, but when used incorrectly, like many do, or like a game, then All Hallows or Samhain becomes then something that smacks of, I don't know, devil worship, or it's only because the energies can fall into the hands of people that are neophyte, and then of course it starts to get its bad rap. Fortunately, though, in our time, society is starting to truly awaken to each single person's intuitive awareness. And as it does, I mean, years ago, no one I knew called All Hallows Eve. Well, they called it Halloween, much less All Hallows Even, much less Samhain. And now Samhain has fallen into the mainstream linguistics, which I love, because you can see the awakening. It's part of the so-called ascension. We're embracing this ancient end of the new year. So even though Julius Caesar may have created a January 1st as the first of the year, it isn't really, and never has been to either me or the ancients or practitioners of the mystical. All Hallows Eve or Samhain really does end the year. This All Saints, All Souls Day kind of mentality, where November really then begins the essence of the new year.
Oh, yeah. And it's a beautiful time of year, I bet, up in New York. I plan on being in New York next week, and it's just, I can't wait to see fall leaves again. I've been down in Florida for 7 years, and, I miss that season.
I'll tell you, though,
here.
I love Florida. And I have had some of my most intense seances that I've conducted and spirit accessing and lectures in the Floridian area. The nights in Florida are so pitch black, the sky is so velvety that the stars can be seen in an incredible way, whereas New York can be a little bit more light polluted. But I agree with you, though. I chose to live in New York, even though I do love Florida, because it sticks way out into the Atlantic, only because there are various reasons, but one was certainly, which is probably the reason for most people that live in New York. It's on top of many other reasons like the culture. It's the love of the seasons.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Usually anyone that loves All Hallows Eve, or rather loves the autumn, generally also absolutely adores the spring as well, because just to see these flowers emerge 6 months after Halloween, when we're in Taurus rather than Scorpio, which will be in when All Hallows hits, the polarity also, just the flowers breaking through the ground, the cold ground, it's just another example of how seasons inspire us. Change inspires us. I guess it scares us a little sometimes as humans. It's a natural condition, but it also delights us.
Oh, yeah. I love David Bowie's song, Turn and Face It, Changes.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a great time for, introspection, looking within and, just kind of, dealing with things, that we fear, that we need to work on and all that. This is a great time of year to do that.
It's so true. It's time to harvest not just the so-called Horn of Plenty, but also harvest your memories and what you've done and the goodness that you hopefully embraced, and maybe the mistakes that you may have also made along the way. We're all only human, but the idea is to learn from the past, learn from our mistakes, and make the next year a better year. To Asians, 2015 will be the year of the wooden goat. Goat ears are extremely creative, and wooden goat ears are extremely powerful. They can create incredible breakthroughs in creativity. Mick Jagger was born in a goat ear, so it really produces unique and unusual individuals. Babies born even in 2015 ought to be very unique generations to come.
Oh, that's something to look forward to. Well, it looks like we have a couple of callers. There's one that's been waiting for 16 minutes, so I think we should bring them. Yeah, thank you for holding. Last 4 digits, 6312. I'm going to put you on right now. Hello, and welcome to Transitions to Transformation Radio Show. Who are we speaking with tonight?
Hello?
Hello.
I didn't know if I was on or not. Hi, how are you?
Excellent, thanks. How about yourself? Thanks for calling in.
I'm good. And how are you, Daniel?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Sagittarius?
Yes, I am. And my daughter got married the day before Halloween.
Awesome.
Oh.
She couldn't get married on Halloween because it was a Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is I remember years ago May was really the time to be wed, and now I find most people in my family and my friends are all now October married. Not always on Halloween, but they tend to try to find an October date, I guess because it's just so pretty, it's so picturesque that, it's almost like the Mercury retrograde. God forbid me for invoking it. But it's sort of like, I almost feel like 5 days before or 5 days after kind of energy field. You still are in that All Hallows vibe, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And my daughter loves fall. Just absolutely loves it. Her favorite season.
It really is so beautiful. I mean, sometimes, just like when a moon is waxing to full, I almost find I'm more on some sort of a supernatural high now because the energies are now waxing to All Hallows rather than when it actually is Halloween. I just love the anticipation more than even and of course the night is great, but I look forward to these kind of energy fields, these days and weeks before All Hallows when it's building.
Yeah.
You know what's wild is as we're speaking right now on this radio, I have a clock in the living room that has decided the past 5 days to start playing tunes that it's not supposed to be playing. It's just supposed to chime on the hour, but what it's been doing all day is just randomly just playing music throughout the day. It's very haunted, but I've had the clock for 5 years. This only happens in October.
That is so cool. I could have sworn I heard it in the background, too.
Yeah. It just stopped now when I said it. It's shy. It's one of those that frog cartoon from Bugs Bunny where it only sang when no one was watching. Michigan J. Frog.
Yeah.
So now it's shy, but I think when it plays up again, I'll go over to it so you guys can hear it. But anyway, how are you doing? Was there something we could answer for you, or?
Yeah, I have a question for you. I have to have surgery on my neck, and they're trying to set it up for the end of October, the beginning of November.
Is this surgery that has already to some extent been postponed as it is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're saying late October, early November potentially now could be the date, and would you say your concern is your concern?
Yeah, well, I had went to one doctor, but I just didn't like his attitude and the whole thing, He didn't really physically check me out, and
here's
he
why.
said I needed surgery.
I don't mean to interrupt, but what I pick up immediately as you're saying this is here's a doctor, and I'm not dissing the healthcare field at all. I'm just saying this particular doctor strikes me as he feels that he's the star, and you're just to sign the papers and get on with it. And frankly, I don't like that approach as well. I'm going on my third hip replacement since I was a young man. It isn't easy, as you know, to suffer like this, but I don't like that heavy-handed sense of, oh no, you just sign the paper and let the star do his work. Granted, if he was so competent and star-like, I would just say to you right now, absolutely sign the paper. But the fact that I see the vibrational field of summer already literally right in front of me is the word summer, and I see the fact that this has been lingering now for a while and that you're hesitant, I would say this guy would not do wrong by you, but I do agree. You should be allowed to have a certain comfort level with your physician. So would your question be that you should go ahead with this guy in the surgery, or are you thinking of looking elsewhere?
No, I went for a second opinion, and now I went to a woman who checked me out thoroughly, took the time to look at the discs that were made of all my MRIs and stuff and go over it. But I'm very confident in her, but I'm a little scared. So
okay, I'll tell you what. Let's look at it this way. It's interesting because talk about karmic interconnections between people. I have been at the mercy of, to some extent, I hate to say mercy. I've been dealing with male doctors my whole life, and I'm a dude. So you think that on a certain level, I should be able to just get along pretty well with them. But I have had everything from compassionate guys to I'll never forget the doctor who years ago when I was just in my young 30s, they held me down to do an aspiration of my hip. It's a very painful experience with a needle the size of a turkey baster. And before they would do surgery on my hip, they needed to know if there was some kind of fluid buildup in my hip. So the nurses held me down, or at least whoever held me down. And when he was doing this, I winced slightly. I just simply did this. He said to me, "You're the man, not the boy. Stop your wincing." But you know what? I was a young man then, and I took it. Now, frankly, I know I'm on the radio, but I would kick him in the you-know-what.
I understand what you had, because I had that.
So what I'm looking for now, just like you, is I'm actually looking now for a female physician, a regular MD for myself, not just a surgeon per se. I'm still not at that level yet. I mean, I should be, but I want a female doctor for the same reason. Women are finally, thank God, coming into their own. They're finally getting the accolades that they deserve, and I want the compassion and the nurturing energy that women have naturally. So let's do this quickly. Let's take a look at, let's imagine we will now beam ourselves into the future, and you've made a commitment to this woman, and she may potentially be prepping you and preparing you to go along the lines of this kind of a surgery. Let's see if you come out of it okay. The vibrations say this. You get my image, my painting of the caduceus, and I did this painting probably 30 years ago, a snake that wraps itself around a flaming baton of fire. I like it a lot. This is a doctor's symbol. It removes blocks. It changes things. Now, you did get also, by the way, an actual tarot card. Some of these vibes are very Daniel-esque. Here's the only tarot card you got, 9 swords. If you to Google it, it represents things like a little bit of despair. Swords make you think a lot. In fact, the vibes even make me feel you're even sitting up in bed at night thinking about this. But here's the truth, though. It's true when it comes to surgery. Nothing should be decided precipitously. Exact examination and preparation are always required because you can't turn back from surgeries. They create an energy. But here's the good news. This is a good vibe, this is a good surgeon, this is a good energy, this is a good directive, and all good will come of it. The problem will be decimated. So the other doctor can do it too, but there's no bedside manner. Yeah. This one can do it, and by the way, here's an image to focus on. I see her riding sort of a rainbow or following a rainbow chariot across the sky. I like her vibration a lot. When you think of her, rather than get verklempt in bed at night worrying or processing too much, think of her on the rainbow trail. Think of her as having, which I believe, many past lives, connected to good things, to animals. She cares about the living, and as a result, she'll do right by you. So no more worry. I'm not saying you should run and go ahead and do this yet until you're ready, but my prediction simply is this. If you go with her, you will not be disappointed or have made some sort of tragic mistake.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a very good feeling about her.
Good.
But
I'm glad. I'm glad to validate that for you.
And I had my hip done twice.
Oh, boy.
The same hip.
That's the sad thing. I mean, whatever body part you rule, that's your weak point. Sometimes people think, well, you rule the hip, Sages, that's something, that's your power point. That's not true. That's actually your Achilles heel. So for you, it would naturally be your hips.
Yeah. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Life is a gas.
Hey, it's part of life. You just got to deal with it.
Yes. Life is all about maintenance.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
And it was very nice talking to you.
A pleasure to speak to you. Enjoy your Halloween.
Oh, I will, and you too.
Bye.
And thank you, Sue. Reverend Sue. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. God bless.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was so cool, Daniel. Thank you.
It's so hard to face surgeries. You've got so much to consider, everything from your comfort level with doctors to the anesthesia that they put you under, to the fact that, none of us are especially kids anymore. I mean, it's dangerous even when I had my hip done when I was in my 30s, it was dangerous. Having it done any other time or revisions like this as you get older, it gets scary. But it's so, I've always found, though, in my career, and this is, I guess, why I garner respect, I'm very, very honest. If I had to tell her that there's a worst-case scenario, that something awful is going to happen, I would definitely tell her that. But having the luxury of being able to say it's going to be okay, it's a huge relief even for me.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Well, I figure I'm going to play Samhain by Lisa Seal to get us into the Samhain mood, and we have two other callers. Yeah, so I'm going to play Samhain by Lisa Seal, and it's about 4 minutes, 15 seconds, so hang on, callers. We'll take you right after this.
The ritual begins. We call upon our sacred ancestors to come in. So in. We call upon our kin. We call upon our dear departed loved ones to come in.
Such a pretty song. I usually use this when I do the ritual at the People's Spiritualist Church in St. Pete, and it's just great. You know, last year was a great turnout, and a lot of people brought pictures of people that have passed on, and we all lit a candle and set it aside. And I thought it was, it's a really perfect song to do that to. But
I like it a lot. It was a really nice song.
Thank you. Yeah, that was Samhain by Lisa Seal. Of course, Samhain is spelled Samhain, and Lisa's last name is spelled Thiel. And it looks like we got 3 more callers. Boy, one's been waiting for 16 minutes. Thank you very much. Last 4 digits, 4151. So I'll bring you on right now. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hello. Hi. Good evening, Daniel. Good evening, Reverend Sue. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. Hope you are too.
I am, thank you.
We're glad you called.
I'm sorry?
We're so glad you called in. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for waiting.
Oh, thank you. I've been enjoying the show. But I actually wanted to call because I had a question for Daniel.
Sure.
And
I'll tell you what, if you would please. I didn't mean to interrupt, but do this. Think of your question first, but don't ask it verbally yet. Just focus on it. Let me invoke an answer as I envision it, as it comes into my consciousness. 3 vibes or octaves I get, a 4th and a 5th. Okay, 5 different vibrational fields came through. Okay, now go ahead. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, I was just calling in about my love life, and it seems that every time I get with somebody, they always need fixing. So I kind of direct them in the direction they need to go, and then that's it. And I wind up, wondering what's going on here. Why is this happening? And I was just recently with somebody again, and I really thought things were going really well. And he was kind of at a point in his life where he needed direction about a lot of things. And I directed him, and then he said to me, I'm not ready for this.
Well, obviously, on a certain level, things were, though, going very well because you did help him. But like you said, as you long for a relationship that then heals and lasts, that's not happening. I find as I start to get more and more into my psychic energy fields, I start to lose the sense of numbers and mathematics as I'm using a different side of my brain. So let me just ask you this. Not the year, but what's your birth date?
November 23rd.
Okay, Sagittarius. All the Sagittarius are calling tonight.
Yeah. And his was
I find
March.
that certain gals in my life that I love dearly do seem to at times attract a certain kind of guy that does need to be fixed. And being a dude, I have to admit, many of us definitely need a good fixing.
Yeah.
But I guess I agree with you though. What hurts is when it's anyone in your life that you want to help them, heal them, raise them above whatever their trauma is, then to see the relationship move on is kind of difficult. So although I guess a part of you has to, if you have a nurturing quality about you, then at some point you almost have to allow yourself the joy that comes with the nurturing alone. It's like being a nurse, where you'd say that I do this because this is part of my passion, and I must release my patient at some point because that's what I need to do. However, that's from the human perspective. Let me see what the psychic vibe said before you even asked the question. The vibe said this, and here's what's interesting. I find it kind of shocking. First, I don't know if people know this that are listening right now, but not only do I use my own divination deck that I painted myself, but I've used it now for many decades, and I've added to the 78 major and minor arcanum. So although I understand the Kabbalistic, the astrological, and numerological impressions of tarot, I've gone well beyond it. And although there were the naysayers years ago that said you can't do that, you can't alter the energies, I found we're living in a new age, and tarot never addressed extraterrestrial energy, past life energy, a number of things. And here's what's intriguing. As I'm pulling the images for you for your answer, one card was upside down facing me, which I found shocking because I have a Virgo ascendant. It's not the norm for me to have the cards in any chaos. But what was showing clearly at me was past life energy. So first, I'm convinced that part of this phenomenon that occurs with you has a past life implication.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't mean so much that I would say run and get a past life regression per se, but just bear in mind, this story, I'm convinced, has gone on longer than even just this lifetime for you. However, that's one of the 5 vibes. Let's see what the others say. Okay, so you get the vibration of your own intuitive sense, your own pineal gland in your brain. Would you describe yourself as rather intuitive? Because I would.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
You're getting the image of a horse. This is not only the year of the wooden horse to Asians, but horses are the animals on Earth with the largest pineal glands in their brain. They're very intuitive by nature. They know in advance whether you're going to hurt them, abuse them, or love them, and they'll treat you accordingly. They'll let you get on their back, and then they'll hit a branch to make sure you get thunderstruck, or they'll take you for a pleasant ride through the park. So the fact that you're getting this as your totem animal means, first of all, you're a Sag getting a horse naturally, but you're not just any horse. You're one with the enlarged pineal gland of psychic energy. Now, here's the next vibe you get. You're getting the word May, as in the month of May. Now, here could be partly the dilemma. We normally in our lifetime attract our polarities to us. Or have you found or have you attracted Geminis to you yet?
I think I did, but he's an Aries.
Well, he's not a Gemini. Then so you didn't. He's not a Gemini.
Yeah, no.
I have to say the difficulty for you is, for instance, in my case, my soulmate is my wife Nancy, and she's a Gemini. Gemini gal. Geminis are not all the same. They're the only sign where every single one of them is different. The only problem, though, is for gals is, as a guy, I love Gemini gals. They're just fantastic. But Gemini guys are a little trickier. They're very different. Here's an example of Gemini guys. Donald Trump is a Gemini, but so is Prince. So you'd never want to see Donald Trump and assless chaps, but Prince would be okay. So there's a huge difference in their personalities. So anyway, my point is, you seem to be the one to search for your polarity because that's how we grow. But because you're getting the May-born Geminis, maybe you need one with that grounding touch of Taurus in them. So they're Geminis, but they're still born in the Taurian month. And you may not have found one yet. You came close with the Aries, but that wasn't close enough. However, one other thing. You're getting golden energy all around you. I love the sparkling vibe. You're the one tonight the first one to get it. Golden energy could even lead to a ring one day. And here's why I would be optimistic, or at least commitment between 2 people, because the next image shows 2 people on the same page. So here's the good news. It can still happen for you. The person you don't have to fix is actually out there for you. So consider the fact that what you had put out previously to others was a necessary component. You did something good. But you deserve also to have someone who is on the same page with you, who's willing to heal you and help you as much as you would support them. I do believe you will find that. And let's bear in mind, May came through. It's possible this could even happen in the spring of next year. But I don't really pick up the vibe in the immediate. So be a little bit more patient if you can bear it. I know Sages, I'm one too. We can't hardly be patient sometimes. We want it yesterday.
Yeah.
But like you said, you gave a lot already.
Yes. And I was thinking that, the way you left the whole conversation off, that we're not done yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I've been having a lot of dreams lately of people that are deceased that keep coming to me.
And of course you would as we get closer now to the veil between the worlds being thin. But bear in mind one last thing. The first vibe you got, which shocked me while you were speaking, was past lives. There is only one stone I personally count on for allowing me to pick up past life impressions other than a regression, and I do plenty of past life regressions. But the stone I would have you choose is, when you get a chance, find a crystal called Tiger Iron. It's Tiger Eye with bands of hematite running through it. If you put it next to your third eye or forehead and close your eyes, you would get an instant realization, a vision of one of your past lives. If you were to lay down in bed at night and be comfortable, you might find by practicing this metaphysical exercise, you could pick up things that happened in the past that maybe are influencing the present. But Tiger Eye is very grounding. So for a third eye energy field, it's not flaky and far out and brings you into some other dimension. It grounds you and lets you understand what the message is. It's not expensive, by the way. A small piece should never be more than $10. It should be less, much less.
Okay.
So it's an inexpensive stone, but it's a very powerful stone. Tiger iron. Okay. And by the way, one last thing. One day when I first experimented with it in the late 80s, I put it next to my third eye and immediately found myself in a windswept field in ancient Egypt. I was nobody, just cutting wheat, but I was in the sun, and I loved my life. I had no hair on my head. It was shaved. I had coal painted around my eyes, and although I was nobody, just working for the hierarchy, I felt like I mattered to God and to the world, to the universe. So I know a lot of people nowadays are all saying, I was Cleopatra, or who knows what they all were. But but the sense is, a lot of us were special only to God. And I feel that when you do this experiment, it might help you to not only find what let's say this component is about your beautiful personality, but you could even potentially attract to you then the perfect person that you deserve. I hope that you do.
Thank you. But I think I'm going to have to do like a past life regression because I keep getting this feeling like some of the people that are coming to me that I've known them before.
Yes.
It's so strange. Like I keep saying, what's my purpose? And I keep thinking, this is my purpose. Like they're coming to me so that I can take care of them and set them in the right direction and help them to get where they need to be.
There's no doubt in past lives, and by the way, this is not just any past life visage that you're getting. It predates Egyptian. I don't want to sound any too far out than I normally do, but this is almost Atlantean. This goes far back in time. You're an old spirit that has lived many lives, so you probably were of service on unique levels a long time ago, and that is still a component of who you are. And yes, it's something that allow it to bring you great joy. Don't let it break your heart when sometimes the fixed move on. But yes, I would say, maybe one day a past life regression is in order. But I would always tell people, don't be a 60-watt light bulb plugged into the sun. Take it slow. Try the Tiger Iron first and see what it says before you jump right into a regression.
Okay.
And also do your homework and see who's doing these regressions, because anybody can say they do it. But I would ask some of their clients, what results did you get?
Well, you actually do them, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you in the New York area?
Yes, I am.
Then definitely get in touch with us on my website or Facebook, or give me a call, and we'll do that one day in the parlor. I would love it.
I certainly will. I certainly will. Okay. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to speak to you.
You too. Have a nice night and have a happy and safe Halloween.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Wow. That was wonderful.
You notice, Susan, though, I find that at this time of the year, as much as it's beauteous and it's got such great color, it's somber, and it brings out a lot of intensity in all of us because it's deep, and we become introspective about our relationships, about our health, about, nothing's distracting us now. We're getting more in tune with what needs to be addressed.
Oh, absolutely. And it's you have to do the inward journey. You have to do the work. Like Byron Katie, she's an author. I think she's a great author because we all have a story, and we have to dig deep within ourselves, whether it be past lives or, this lifetime. And
or even future lives for that much, things we're going to become.
Yeah, absolutely. And we reflect and project out, and we get, we're like magnets. We attract what we're projecting out. So we have to be very mindful of our thoughts, things that
absolutely.
We say. They turn into things, and we attract whatever mood or whatever we're feeling to us. So that's
it's not fair. Sometimes it almost feels like it's not fair. Like when we have difficulties like these or challenges, we think to ourselves, I did not want to attract that to myself. But we have to sometimes give ourselves a break too, because sometimes even beings of light when you're full of light, you also have to deal with the fact that shadows are sometimes just simply created around light, and it's just a happenstance of light. Therefore, like you just said, it's part of the test. You attract it to yourself, and sometimes not because you even wanted to, but because shadows and light go hand in hand, at least in the realm of duality.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I think in this lifetime, like when you were talking to our previous caller that we just had, you see, when I went to go see you, I went to the East Islip Library a few years ago with my friend Ollie, and we'd seen you for the first time, and you were handing out her from her. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was really cool, and you wore these cool sleeves that look like tattoos.
I'll tell you, I'm a walking special effects, so the irony is not only am I extremely metaphysical, but I can be extremely entertaining.
Oh, absolutely. And we absolutely loved your presentation about what stones you can connect with. And that jogged a memory of mine. You gave me a little Herkimer diamond when I went home that night. Yeah, and I put it by my bedside, and wouldn't you know, that night I had 3 dreams in a row of me being a really tall guy in Egypt. And it was a repeating dream, one after the other, where I was standing over a casket, and there was this little boy in there, and I felt like it was my fault that he died. So it kind of goes into this lifetime where I always feel like I have to protect and like kind of jump in front of a train for people, because that kind of stuff, whether it's this lifetime or previous, it can really hold you back. And I became a very codependent person, and it took me up until last year before, to realize that I matter too. And then once I started projecting that out, and I forgave myself, everything started coming together.
It's so important to recognize that it's not selfish to love yourself, because the more you love yourself, the more you can avail yourself to others. But I must have really been sweet on you to give you one of my favorite Herkimer diamonds, because I just cling to those guys so much. I find them to be one of the most beautiful, powerful crystals on earth. And they only grow in New York and Herkimer. I've mined them over the years with my wife. I'm very fond of them. I have a huge collection of them, some with even very ancient, millions and millions of year old water that floats through the veins of some of my Hercs, and I can watch the bubbles move through them. But yes, I find them to be exquisite stones. When I do my public speaking engagements, I'll inevitably have Herkimers for myself in my pocket, just to give me that electrical charge I need to connect with people. And as you saw in your dream, it really does create a vivid detail and impressions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to play a quick song, and then we'll come back. We got more callers, so hang on, callers, especially last 4 digits, 6312. We're going to take you right after this song. Because you gave me that Herkimer diamond, it made me think about miscellaneous magic. So I'm going to play that. It's by my friend Joe Giulio and his cousin Lou Pizzatola. And it's just a wonderful song. There's a YouTube video for it, and I keep telling them, you guys should have it on iTunes. It's a great song. It's very trippy, and I'll put that on next.
Oh, cool.
Thanks. And then we'll be right back. That song is about 5 minutes, 5 seconds. So we'll be right back, and we'll take that caller 6312 right after.
that stops traffic. Clean legs pick up static. She's so phonographic. Spells his name in all caps. Wakes a newborn with flaps. Smiles his pearly white calves. Catches mice and nice traps. Miscellaneous magic. Miscellaneous magic. I hear your music, and you're halfway home. She's nobody's fool. Cattle race, she rattles her jewels. Gradually graduating school. High octane, below Biscayne fuel. God left in someone's life to be seen in someone's scene, and it's too soon to be or not to be a
Miscellaneous Magic by Pizzitola and Julio. I hope I said that right, guys. So welcome back to the show. Daniel, you still there?
Yes, I like that song a lot.
Me too. It's kind of trippy. It's kind of Beatlesque.
It appealed to the hippie in me.
Me too. So in that song they're talking about everyday magic. Just smile on somebody's face. Just the little things. That kind of takes. So now this brings to our next caller. Thank you for waiting. It's almost been 25 minutes. Wow. But we'll have to shorten the readings a little bit if that's okay. That way we'll get everybody in.
Yep.
Hey.
I have one gal, by the way, that called and her phone died on her while she was calling, so she went from the next caller to the last caller, and she's broken-hearted. So, yeah, I'll try to step it up.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, we got the last 4 digits, 6312. We'll put you on next. Hello, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Transitions to Transformation Radio Show. Who are we speaking with? I think it's Mercury retrograde kind of.
Hello?
You got somebody. Hi.
Hello? Oh, I think they dropped off. Well, try calling back again, and we'll take the next caller. Next caller's been waiting about 23 minutes. Last 4 digits, 4984. We're going to put you on right now. Hello, welcome to Transitions.
Hi, I'm the one whose phone had a battery problem, and I'm able to get on. Hi, Daniel.
Hi. See, as fate would have it, some poor soul got lost in the mix of Mercury retrograde, so you could get on.
I think my mother must have kicked her off.
Okay, let's not laugh about that. But anyway.
No, I'm just not laughing about it. Anyway, I just wanted to say, my mother died 6 years ago, and I can't tell you how grateful I am, Daniel, for your support. Daniel goes above and beyond in his readings with his compassion. He is an unbelievable support for anyone who wants to come and see him.
Thank you for saying that. But I must say that with all the spirit communique that I do in my readings, I make connections with people, and I love people, but there's something about your mom that has made an indelible mark on my heart. And by the way, here's what comes through as you're speaking. My painting called The Forgotten. I feel your mom is fine as long as she knows she'll never, ever be forgotten. And of course, we know she won't be. But sometimes when people go into these dimensional energy fields and etheric fields, we worry a little bit about that. It's sort of like the gods themselves feel like if you forget them, they don't exist anymore. So I think the gift you always give your mom is this constant sense of how much you love her, how much she's made her mark in your memory, and that the light of love shines throughout the universe on both her and you, and frankly, me too, because she's one of the few pictures I have a lot of pictures of those that have passed next to my bed at night that I focus on, and she's one of them. And she means a lot to me. So that's the gift you give her. It's not something you buy at Harrods and wrap it in a fancy bow. It's just that sense of I love you, Mom. I'm always thinking about you, and you can just feel her heart light up when you put that out to her. So you're a good daughter.
Oh, thanks. You know, that's really true. I do. I think about her all the time, and I always say, I love you, Mom.
That's the gift that she appreciates the most.
Oh.
Well, thanks for hanging in there and waiting so long to speak to me. I'm glad that you did. It's good to connect with you again.
I know. It's good to hear your voice and everything, living up here in Albany, you know. Yeah, so I wanted to ask, it's taken me this long to kind of feel like I've gotten back, perked up again and gotten back where I want. I need to get a better job, and I feel more clear about it. And so what are you feeling about the next job and where I'm going? Just so people know, I'm an anthropologist. I work at a Health Disparities Research Center, and I need to break out of that into something that's more me.
Well, you're getting just two colors that are coming through. You're not getting words, blue and pink. So blue is you got to get the word out and alert people that you are available. You got to do whatever it takes, and that sometimes is hard work. But knock on those doors, send those messages out. Let everybody know. In the interim, because you're getting pink, also do what I would imagine you would always do. Vibrate to something that you know is going to bring you bliss, that's going to make a difference in the community and society, that resonates with your own heart. But, yeah, as long as you're doing, just always think pink and blue, pink and blue, pink and blue. Blue, my throat chakra. I'm getting the word out, and one of these doors will open as a result. And pink, you're doing it because it satisfies you. And, by the way, and I think what will be created is green. Gain, money, success, abundance, because you're following your bliss and because you're showing the universe that you're working hard towards that goal. As, by the way, I feel your beautiful mother is continuing to, if you trust her, guide you to the work that does satisfy and fulfill. I see it for you.
Oh, that's really great, because I recently got back in touch with a community that I worked with in Honduras, and I was just on a radio show the other day, out of the blue.
There you
go.
I was like, fantastic. It's funny what you just said, out of the blue, and a radio show blew the throat chakra.
Okay. Oh.
These are all the doorways that are opening up around you, and I see a continuance of it, so I'm so happy to say that to you.
Oh, thank you so much, because it's been a long time beating my head against the wall, not having enough money, and it's just, now it's time we have big changes on the planet, and people are waking up, and I just want to be of service and be prosperous, too.
I guarantee it. Blue becomes pink, becomes green. Good for you.
Okay. Oh, excellent.
Have a good night, Betsy. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
This is so sweet.
I know. I'm so glad she was able to get through.
I haven't seen her physically in a long time, but it's so nice when people find I'm on the show like this and they call in and I get to connect with her because I haven't heard her voice in quite a while. But God, her mom's incredible to leave such a mark on my consciousness.
Wow, that is amazing. Well, we have another song that actually you requested, Daniel. It's called "We Are the Dead" by David Bowie.
David Bowie, the soundtrack of my life.
Yeah.
This song, by the way, is so beautiful. It's a young David singing and with just an incredible voice. Nowadays, when we live in a world where everyone's auto-synthesized, this is a man who's using only his vocal cords and nothing added to just have an incredible resonance to his throat. I just love his singing.
Oh yeah, he's amazing, and I love how eclectic he is. He's
Absolutely.
Not afraid to put a...
Yeah, he just consistently changes consciousness the way John Lennon did, and this is from the Diamond Dogs era. It's just everybody's got to hear it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and this will get you through to the next reading. We have a caller. Last 40 is 3258. Please be patient. We'll be right with you within 4 minutes 59 seconds. Well, actually 5 minutes. We'll get Daniel in a psychic medium kind of vibe. So.
And David Bowie's "We Are the Dead" will do it for me.
Oh yeah. So without further ado, "We Are the Dead" by David Bowie coming up.
Of all we've said, we are the dead.
Heaven is on the pillow. Its silence competes with hell. It's a 24-hour service, guaranteed to make you tell. And the streets are full of pressed men bent on getting hung and buried. And the legendary curtains are drawn round baby bankrupt who sucks you while you're sleeping. It's a theater of financiers. Count them, 15 round the table, white dressed to kill. Oh, possess yourself, my beauty, for my hands have all but withered. Oh, dress yourself, my urchin one, for I hear them on the stairs, because of all we've seen, because of all we've said, we all be dead, we all dead, we all dead.
Wow, like that song. It's kind of trippy too. Very good choice, Daniel.
Oh, that is
it. Well, we have our patient caller. Thank you for waiting. They've been waiting about 18 minutes, so last four digits are 3258. We'll take you right now. Thank you for waiting.
Hey,
Hello,
Daniel, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys? I hope everything is well with you.
We're having a good night here.
That's good. I'm so happy I got through.
Excellent.
All right. I wanted to ask, all right, I'm in a point in my life where I just feel like just in a dark place, like nothing is going well for me. Like I just keep having issues, and I'm, constantly trying to make myself better myself, but for some reason, I'm lacking, motivation and the drive that I know I have. Like, I feel like I don't have it anymore. Like, something is sucking it out of me.
Okay, that's not good.
No, nope.
Okay, and if I may ask you, I already got the answer here, but because you're not really asking a question yet, and you know what, don't. You already invoked the energies by saying what you said. And I'm sitting in the parlor right now in this 1800s home picking up these vibes. They're pretty intense. But if I may ask you, although I'm picking up Leo 9 energies in your vibrational field, what's your birthday, though?
It's March 13th, 1985.
Okay, I wonder what the Leo vibe is doing or creating for you that it comes through so strong. I knew it wasn't your own, but okay. Here's what I'm picking up, though. First, your depression. And I'm sorry because here I am having luxuriating and saying such uplifting things to people, but now we got to at least face the fact that you're in that kind of a mode of depression. But here's the thing though that's maybe healing or pseudo positive about it. You're getting my imagery of the green god, the ancient god Osiris. The myth of Osiris goes something like this. Because of the pain of the world, they say he's cut up into hundreds of pieces and scattered throughout. Ultimately, those pieces, though, are found again. And as some of the stories go, the heart within him is recreated. And because it's rebuilt, it doesn't break again. It becomes almost immortalized, and it's the new him. I feel that rather than let's say, dwelling on, let's say, the sorrow or the pain or the depression that sometimes goes through you. And you know what? It often courses through those that are kind of brilliant and care and are compassionate. It doesn't course through the veins of those that are careless and selfish. So it's the price you're paying for being compassionate and caring and sensitive. But so never sacrifice that. That's what's so wonderful about you. But as you go through this vibrational field, and you're getting April specifically, that's what came through first, not Leonine vibes. That's just a vibe I'm picking up on the side. Maybe that's a clue to a Leo might be the one who's a visionary or helps you or get through something. But in the interim, I'm convinced that April of 2015, and I know right now it seems like it's light years away, but believe me, it isn't. When you get to be my age, it seems like every weekend is Christmas. Time goes by very quickly. I feel that around your birthday, then that's next year, the year of the wooden goat, I feel that you'll get something very uplifting, something that will really feel like it's moving much more quickly for you. And by the way, one other thing. People may say nowadays, some might, prayers, schmares, they don't matter. You can pray all you want for something, but just be pragmatic if you expect to get what you want from life. But you're a different kind of guy with a better value system than that. I feel if you continue to do what you have been doing, which is putting out your petition to the universe, to God, to the heavens, if you keep putting out that prayer, I know you're heard. I feel you are heard by even those that have passed over in the heavens that do have God's ears. Keep putting out that vibe of what it is you'd like to manifest, the person you know you can become. It's just that right now I feel the channels aren't available to you because they're really not there. I feel you're a visionary. You're defining a whole new avenue that you're navigating that's fresh and new, and because it's new, you have to almost create the path that isn't there yet. I do not see, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't see you putting on an orange apron at Home Depot. I see you creating something completely different because of the visionary that you are. So sometimes those things take time because we're living in a new age where there's a new calling for certain work and jobs that never existed before, like people that are working with climate changes and people that are working for, let's say, different ways of working with solar energy that we never had that kind of work available to us before. So, and just like that, I feel the work will avail itself to you if you just have to apply because you're a fire sign. You say you're Arian, you're Aries?
No, I'm a Pisces.
You're Pisces, okay. So you're close to, let me use because that April I picked up Aries. So, I believe in progress signs. You were born a little Pisces boy, but you become over time an Aries guy. And then, given more time, you even become a Taurus man, and ultimately, should you live long enough, a Gemini dude. But I pick up the Aries energy in your Pisces vibration. You're a very old spirit. You're the oldest spirit that called tonight. So I'm here to just remind you to believe in yourself and not to be too hard on yourself because you can and will accomplish great things. But it seems like I have to tell you the truth. It's not within your grasp ASAP. But if you keep putting out that prayer into the energy fields in the universe, I'm at least here to tell you it will be granted. And I even can tell you when. April of 2015. So if you have to take anything transitional in the meantime just to pay the bills, let's say, or just to feel like you're accomplishing something because those guys are wired that way, take it. But don't take it thinking to yourself, oh, my God, I'm stuck at this dead end. You're not. That's just a stepping stone to your greater transformative self. Do you feel you can do that?
Yes. Like, I see myself doing great things. It's just that right now, I don't know why, I just have that motivation.
It happens to us. We get, even myself as an artist, we go through dry spells where our creativity is tapped out. Or, I mean, my God, you can't even turn on the TV without wanting to hit yourself in the head with a 2x4. Because, I mean, my God, it's like, I don't even know how Obama does it. He walked into the presidency as a young man, and now he looks like his own grandfather.
Yeah.
I mean, these people must know things that we don't even want to know. So, I feel an old spirit like you, there's a history in your soul. You've seen all of this 1,000 times before, and yes, it can be a little bit at times draining, but don't let it be. Charge up your energy field. Your Pisces, after all, own that energy field. In Kabbalah, that's Nun, the fish that swims out to his endless possibilities. Again, I'm quite a proponent of all sorts of healing modalities. Maybe consider getting just quartz crystal, the salt of the earth. It'll up your energy. And if you want a beautiful fragrance, get pure essential bergamot oil. It comes from Calabria, Italy. It's the only fragrance that has a normalizing effect. If you need sedation, it calms you. If you need upliftment, it lifts up your spirit. Just the smell of it. Don't put it neat on your skin if your skin's exposed to the sun, though, because your skin can become photosensitive to it. But I might say a small bottle of bergamot might cost you, let's say, for instance, maybe it's less than $20, certainly less than $20. but you might find it's like a quick fix for you. So do this much, though. Where somebody that just called earlier had to knock on doors or get the word out, the so-called blue, you're not getting that. You're getting a vibe that says, pull yourself out of your sadness. You are a brilliant person capable of great things, and I promise you, one day we'll talk about this. You will be manifesting them in the spring of 2015, so hang in there.
Awesome. Yes, thank you, Daniel.
It's a pleasure to tell you that.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Spirits up already. Thank you. You too.
Hang in there.
Bye.
Many blessings to you. Wow, thank you, Daniel. That's wonderful.
Well, again, here's what we're noticing tonight, the theme. The month is beautiful, but it brings in such deep introspection.
Oh, yeah, it sure does. It really does.
It's the inward journey.
It is, and it can come to you through dreams, through past life regression, and, just a whole lot of stuff. I was going to play another song, Season of the Witch. We don't have any callers currently, so.
I love that song.
Yeah, me too. Season of the Witch.
And by the way, if no one's calling after that, I'll be happy to just discuss. I have so many things to discuss with you. We could be on till midnight. So let's just enjoy Season of the Witch.
Okay, will do. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
When I look out my window, many sights to see. And when I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Must be the season of the witch. where'd I go? When I look out my window, what do you think I see? And when I look in my window, so many different people to be. It's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. The rabbits running in the ditch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. Where'd I go?
So trippy and so Halloweenish. I love that song.
Donovan's the best.
He is. He's very spiritual, very, hip even to this day. And I was just curious. We hadn't talked about witches. Now, from what I know about Halloween history, is that witches came from the Celts. And they kind of got a bad rap. I mean, well, they did the bonfires and everything to give back to the earth, like we mentioned before. And there were some animals associated with that, because like the owls, the bats, and, they would always fly around the bonfire. So they would always be associated with witches. So I was just, I know witches get a bad rap. I had been involved with Wicca for a time. And Wicca is all about worshiping nature. It's worshiping the seasons, and I always love the change of seasons. And there's absolutely no harm in it. What is your take on like the whole history of witches? They really got a bad rap in Salem.
Well, I mean, let's face it. There's no doubt I'm innately a witch. I always have been. I know long ago it seemed like if you said something like that, you were going to hell in a handbasket. But the times have changed, and Wicca, which is, I guess, the more appropriate term nowadays, is a little bit more palatable. But you're right. This has nothing to do with Satan worship. In fact, I don't know. I run in different circles. I don't know if anyone's listening to this, and actually, I know some people can just be afraid even to call in because of the nature of, let's say, the show even. But I don't even know anybody nowadays in the circles that I move in that either don't practice their own form of nature worship or have some affiliation with Wicca. However, the irony is that even if they do, quite often when my friends have passed over the years, their family or even they themselves are buried traditionally in the religion they're born into, Roman Catholicism or Judaism or other things. I don't know if it's because, like I said, if it's family or whether it's really their ultimate wish. I'm different than just about anybody because the Christians may have a problem with me, or Jews may have a problem with me, or Wiccans may, because I embrace all of the religions. I find them all coming from the source. I love the fact that the Judaic calendar vibrates to a lunar calendar. I adore Catholicism, especially Roman Catholicism, because it's so steeped in a sort of a pseudo-paganism. And Christ is such an ascended mystic. And Daniel was when as a kid, when people would, I've been doing this for a long time, and people would diss me. It's like, have you read the Bible? Daniel was the mystic of the Bible. He was a dream interpreter for the king. He was a mystic, for God's sakes. They threw him into a bunch of lions that wouldn't even eat him because he was an animal communicator. I love the fact that the Germans even took Wicca they even stylized it. with the decor and the creativity behind the magic. I mean, long ago in the Brocken Mountains, the Black Hearts Mountains of Germany, the saying was, off to the Brocken, the witches are flocking on May Day Eve. One of the high holy days of the Wiccans is Rudmas, Beltane, Walpurgisnacht is what they called it. But many ancient antiquitous Germans would say that up in those dark mountains there was light emanating from it because witches were flocking or meeting there up in the mountains. And I'm sure that was the case, far away from judgment from your average who knows who. And I mean, even our modern day jack-o'-lanterns are really carved turnips were the precursor to that. No one carved pumpkins in those days anyway. They just used carved turnips and put little candles in them to light the way. But it's interesting how time goes on. And again, the point about Christianity, it's one of the reasons why I love the religion so much is that when I had gone to Lithuania with my dad, and I'm Lithuanian, and we had gone to a cathedral that my great-grandmother used to pray in when she was a little girl before she came here. And my dad and I found it so astonishing that here in this ancient cathedral, which has tons of sterling and silver and raw candles lit, which is, you don't find that very often in America anymore. It's all electric. There's too much insurance and fire hazards about lighting candles, which, I mean, I got to have fire. I've got 9 candles lit right now when I'm speaking to you. But up in the turret of the church was a pentagram painted in the turret from long ago. So here, even encoded in the cathedral, is a magical star. And by the way, cousins I never knew that I met when I arrived in Lithuania, in Vilnius, they met me and took me to this cathedral, and out in front of the cathedral is a star, a glass star on that you stand on in front of the church. And the myth is, what they did to me is, they spin you around 3 times and you think of what you wish. And after that 3rd spin, your wish will be manifest. I love the idea that we could blend the supernatural understanding, which is, again, just natural but super, nothing scary, into our modern religion. For instance, when I have a lot of my Jewish clientele that I adore, and I was raised with Jewish and Christian sensibilities and nature sensibilities, but it always shocked me years ago when some of my Jewish clientele would say to me, "Well, I don't understand why when you would say you pick up a choir of angels around my energy field," and I have to correct them or myself and realize that they don't understand. They would tell me that angelology is not part of our religion, but I'm like, well, you haven't been exposed to the Kabbalistic teachings. Then you don't understand that the Elohim are angelic in nature, and they are part of actually your religion. They predate Christianity, but there's so much to learn about antiquity and the so-called witches or magic. I mean, my friend Bill just recently posted something about these megaliths that they found in Siberia. These stones that are, what are they? I forget how many tons. An incredible amount of tons of stones that are placed in such a way that a piece of paper can't slip through them. They predate Stonehenge. They're far in the depths of Siberia. They're the oldest monoliths now discovered ever on Earth. And by the way, Stonehenge predates Egypt and the pyramids. I'm convinced now more than ever that the Earth was so mystical and so populated long ago, and we're only starting to discover these things now on Earth. How is it that in 2014 we don't even know how the pyramids were built yet? Exactly. Without sounding spaced out, I'm convinced it was done through some form of mysticism, levitation, or I don't want to sound, again, any more eccentric than I already do, but maybe extraterrestrial connection between us and these energies from other forms of the omniverse. But here these stone pieces still exist, these pyramids, other than, of course, they're beautiful golden or lime capstones, polished marble capstones, so they'd shine in the full moonlight so that people from other lands could see the sparkling pyramids from far away. So I guess witchcraft is sort of, witches themselves are sort of like, it's just one of a huge amount of labels one places on mysticism. But God bless the witches.
Yeah.
And God has blessed the witches, too. Or God is being simply the feminine aspect of God.
Well, just like there's a quote in Practical Magic, one of my favorite movies, with Nicole Kidman and,
Sandra Bullock, is she in that?
Sandra Bullock. Yep, she is. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know why my mind throws a blank, but anyway, there's a line in that. It says, there's a little witch in everyone, which there is. We're all connected to the earth. We're connected to, the air.
Yeah.
And that brings to the next song I'm going to play.
Well, I was a very lucky little boy because when I grew up, my great-grandmother taught me to read by the time I was 13. She gave me a key and told me to open up a box that was in the closet, and I loved the fact that her closet doorknobs were glass. They were lead crystal. And there was a box with a love lock that kept it closed, a little heart-shaped lock, and I opened it up, and inside was a divination deck from 1902, which I still have. And she gave me the cards on her bed, and she also had an altar set up in her room with candles and holy water, and she was a religious person, and yet she was a mystical being. Antonina Circulus, her name was. And I felt in a flash that in that moment she had given me this gift of intuition, or enhance the quality of it, or pass the baton to me, so to speak, because she could have done that to my grandfather, a Taurus. She could have done it for my dad, a Cancer. Both good guys, sensitive dudes, but she must have felt like this is the one that could take this to another level. And for the rest of my life, I did. I mean, she had crystal balls on her mantles, magic mirrors. One I still have that I treasure. I fall into it sometimes in astral projected states. And I'm so grateful that before I descended into matter, I chose a family that would support my mysticism rather than condemn it, because I'm too sensitive a guy. Not anymore. Now I'm much stronger. I can take people dismissing me if they want to, but I think when I was a little guy, though, I couldn't have taken it if somebody had said to me, well, just straighten up and fly right, and you're going to do this whether you like it or not. My dad was never like that. He let us each. We're four boys, and he let each one of us do what each one of us felt was the right thing for us, whether it was being a mechanic or being, whatever, a tattoo artist, or so. It's I'm just grateful that it runs in the family. We're a family of witches, I guess, on a certain level. And I can't stand the word psychic. I hate calling myself a psychic. I can't stand it. I mean, everybody I know now is one. They're crawling out of the woodwork. I mean, not that I don't like that. I mean, we all are, of course. But it's the word that bothers me. The word witch bothers me as much as the word psychic does. I just don't like labels. I don't like sexual labels. I don't like mystical labels. I don't like gender labels. It's just, I wish we lived, I want to still, before I quit the earth, I want to see the world keep evolving into, we're just all, we're beings of light.
Right. And once everybody realizes that, no matter what we look like, no matter what our differences are, we all are one. We're all a different version of what, we're a different aspect of God, Goddess.
Absolutely. We're different facets of the great diamond.
Yep. I like that. I like that a lot. And with that, I'm going to play How Soon Is Now, which is,
Morrissey?
that show. No, actually not Morrissey, but with Love Spit Love.
Right. It's actually, Morrissey wrote it. And Morrissey is my hero. I know the version very well, but Morrissey wrote it, and Morrissey is a gift, a treasure on earth. So, yeah, this is an awesome song.
It is. And Morrissey was part of the group The Smiths.
Yes, absolutely.
My husband loves that version. But I'm a big fan of Charmed, and I figured I'd tie it in with the witches. We were talking about witches, so I really love it. So basically, the song is saying, "I am the air, I am the earth."
I am the air and the sun. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to play that next, and then we'll come back. That's about 4 minutes and 25 seconds. So hang on, folks.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, I am the sun and the air of a shyness that is criminally vulgar. I'm the senator of nothing in particular. You shut your mouth, how can you say I go about things the wrong way? I am human and I need to be loved just like everybody else does. There's a club if you'd like to go. You could meet someone who really loves you. So you go and you stand on your own, and you leave on your own, and you go home and you cry and you want to die. When you say it's gonna happen now, when exactly do you leave? See, I've already waited too long, and all my hope is gone.
Love that song. That song is just so awesome.
It's a gorgeous melody, and we really have to thank Marcy for having the vision to have created something so beautiful. You know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but he recently was telling everybody that if they've been wondering why he looks the way he does, he has cancer now, and and there's a big concern for his health, and I'm worried because he's just such a gift to all of us. His vision, his voice, even this reinterpretation of that song put into a movie like that. I mean, this man is so far ahead of his time that by the time people get it, he'll be gone. But in the interim, look at this. I mean, it almost sounded like the Psychedelic Furs are recovering him. I love it.
Yeah. I believe the lead singer for the Psychedelic Furs was part of Love Spit Love.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, same voice. Yep, you hit the nail on the head. And you know, for everybody out there who loves Morrissey, send out pink light and love to him, and start a healing.
Yeah, please do. I mean, we need him as much as we need Bowie, as much as we needed John Lennon and still do. I mean, when these voices get lost in all of time, we still, to this day, I still cry for John. I mean, I'm so grateful that Yoko lights the Peace Tower in Reykjavik for John, because Iceland is so mystical. Have you ever been there?
No, I would love to go.
Oh, my God. It's like being on Mars. It's so volcanic, and the Blue Lagoon is so incredibly therapeutic, and the water is so clean. But I mean, on October 9th, every year since John died in 1980, Yoko lights this light that beams out into the sky in Reykjavik, up into the heavens, and it gets snuffed out on the day before my birthday on December 9th each year, and up into this aurora borealis. And God, I mean, if I could have a wish, it would be to have John back, just to help guide us through the chaos that is on Earth. And speaking of, when you said before about the witches, it's the job of the witches, the Wiccans, or the magical, the mystical, or the nature worshippers, to help return us and reconfigure us back to nature. And if people have a problem with adoring it or creating a god or goddess for it, then don't do that. But worship a flower, worship the water, worship the trees, the oaks, because they in the end are all that ever mattered and all that ever will.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, I don't want to sound spooky, but every Halloween, what I do is I take some of my favorite shirts and pants, I hang them up on the oak trees on the property, and the oaks here, my oaks are around 300 years old. They're in the stages of dying right now. They say oaks live about 150 years and die about another 150. But on Halloween, I'll hang them from the branches, and I'll allow the spirits that roam to move through the fabric of the material I wear. So that when I give lectures, like I do at Eyes of Learning on the 24th, or in one of the libraries on the 26th, or even thereafter in November, these energy fields will have entered into or permeated in some sort of psychometric fashion the material that I put on my own skin. So that and I know that like you, we attract good energy to ourselves, and I think tonight was proof of it by those that had called. They were sincere and good people, and when you call out that kind of energy, like we said before, you could attract some shadow, but don't be afraid. It's all right, because you're mostly attracting, even when I put my clothing out to pick up spiritual energy. I know I'm opening myself up to a lot of things, but I also feel very protected by the heavens. And I know that if the price I have to pay for bringing in some really great energy is a little bit of lost energy, that's okay too. I'm not afraid of lost energy. I'm not afraid of anything. The spirit world doesn't scare me at all. It's the mundane world that frightens the hell out of me.
You and me both. I hate, I used to love doing my chores because, I would meditate during it, but now I'm like, God, this is so mundane. I just want to, coast, you know what I mean? I just want to, just think about projects I'm doing and be artistic. And, Halloween to me, is getting back to the subject of Halloween. It's just really a very artistic time. People are painting pumpkins, carving pumpkins, making costumes, making decorations.
Absolutely. Yeah, it brings out a lot of the creativity in people. My painted pumpkins are out of this world. I think you might have seen some of them on Facebook. And I donate them every year to either hospitals or Women's Breast Cancer Awareness, or also just last weekend I did a suicide awareness fundraiser, because for a young teenager boy that had killed himself, so although the pumpkins are out of this world, I mean, people would not believe it. These are not like just painted pumpkins you'd see at the nursery. These are masterpieces, and they're really a labor of love, because I know these pumpkins won't last forever, although mine do last till April 1st, inevitably. It's shocking, but they do. But so I put my heart and soul into it. I love the way my brushes run against the flesh of the pumpkin. I would never carve one. I can't put a knife to a pumpkin except to cut it off the vine. But I don't loathe people that carve pumpkins. I just can't do it. I just can't put a knife to it. But the faces that I paint on these pumpkins are out of this world. And although they're transitory, I know that but all things are. Like George Harrison said, all things must pass. So you can't think in terms of, well, this is a futile thing, then why are you doing this? It's like an ice sculptor. I have a buddy who's an ice sculptor. It's not going to last. But while it's there, I think part of the lesson for us as human beings, magical beings, is be in the moment. There's magic in the moment. I had a window of opportunity today to run to the beach. I ran with my crystals and did a spell right on the ocean. I wrote on the sand, I love my life. And I was a little shy because a couple was coming towards me to see what I wrote. And just as they approached me, a wave came and wiped my words away and took them back into the water. And I was kind of relieved because I was just a little shy. I don't know why I was. But it was just a really, in fact, all the crystals I kept on the sand today are right here in front of me as I'm speaking to you. They really got charged. And by the way, for New Yorkers, it's a real treat for me to be swimming on October 17th in the ocean. But I swam twice today. I couldn't believe it. The water feels great today.
Oh, that's awesome. See,
but
you
like
got
you said before, nature, which is connecting to nature. I mean, there's nothing like the chi, the flow of the waves, and they were very strong and powerful today because of that hurricane that's out towards Bermuda. God help those people, but this thing was creating waves today that were just glorious the way they were hitting me. I mean, they were strong. I could tell they wanted to pull me in, but I wouldn't have it. I didn't go too deep.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Well, I'm dedicating a song to you. It's called Every Day is Halloween, and you live every day like a you know, your house is like a metaphysical Disneyland as you...
Oh, it really is. I would think of having a monorail installed.
You're going to need it. You're going to need it. So I'm going to dedicate Every Day is Halloween by Ministry. And I was curious, when we come back, can you do like a quick reading for me?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. So we'll be back in about 6 minutes, 23 seconds. I can totally relate. Every day is Halloween for me, too. You still there, Daniel?
Yes, I am. Let's conduct that reading.
All right, awesome.
Now, I do want people to realize that are listening, they might not realize that you and I have not spoken like this over the phone at all. We only spoke when I called tonight. We just communicated about this show over the Internet. It's not that I am privy to any details of your life at all. This is just your reading, and I just want people to know that. It's not like I'm privy to anything other than what I'm about to take a look at, what the universe is going to let me see. So that said, let's see what comes through. So I find, and this is in the course of the day as well, metaphysically, sometimes people want to be the first read of the day. That's not when I'm necessarily, though, at my best. I'm at my best at the last reading of the day because that's when I've been in the zone all day. And I'm disconnected and divorced from just gravity. So it brings me into a higher consciousness. Let's see what the vibrations say for you. They say this. So, first, the vibe that wants to set the tone for your read first projects an energy field of one color. There was one gal that got color as well. You get green. Green is the center of the rainbow. It's a heart chakra color, and although the heart chakra vibrates to both pink and green, green might be the preferred choice for people of our generation. If you were 12 or 14, I'd say, yeah, you want pink. But at our age, you want green because you're now at a stage where you want to have love and you want to feel healed, and you don't want to have to find and look and search. You want to be in a nice, centered place emotionally. So green also warrants that we follow our bliss, and as we do, money follows, and gain and paying the bills happens because we're finding our identity in the world. So your reading starts with a color first, not even a word. Let's take a look at your theater of reality. Your theater of reality, though, starts to sparkle. It tells me how pure your heart is and how much you strive to be emotionally free. And it shows me the little girl in you, which is not easy to access because as we get older sometimes, we become jaded and we just get, the world can really weigh us down. It'll just kill us if you let it. But this vibration shows that it's not really going to happen to you, nor I. It shows that you're able to access the little gal in you, which is that's the person within us that is full of wonderment. How great. I'm so glad. Let's see what happens, or rather, what kind of tools you have to work with. You've made it through 2 tough years. 2012 year of Water Dragon was fairly unbearable. Asians love dragon years, but not water-breathing dragon years. And they didn't know what to make of 2012. You'd have to be 80 years old in China to even remember what the last water dragon year was like. And Americans who don't give a hoot about Asian years said it was going to be the end of the world on December 21st, 2012. But I don't know. Was I the only psychic that knew it wasn't going to be the end? I didn't see everybody raising their hands and saying, I spoke for 10 years and told people it wouldn't be the end, but because people were so scared, I knew it wouldn't be. And even if people were bogus and weren't even psychics, you could only be 50. Chances of being wrong are only 50%. Just say something. But I knew it wouldn't be the end. But my point is, we made it through. A lot of people did pass, though, and you made it. If you believe in reality, you and I are here discussing this, and you got through 2012, you got through the water snake of 2013, and God has given you certain tools that you can work with. And the tools that you can currently work with are the ability to manifest and creatively visualize. So this is a gift that you should own now more than ever. It will liberate you. Think in terms of, you have something that, I don't know how long you'll have it, but you have it now. I think you'll have it for a few more years. The sense of, I believe in this desire, this wish, this thing I want to help to create, and I can do this. And by the way, it even incorporates male energy into your life. I feel a combination of your own and male energy together. You and a guy you and a man that you love can make a lot of things manifest, be it where you want to live, where you want to be, the influence you want to have over people. But let's go further. The vibes closest to you say this. Well, you're getting an interesting mantra. I wrote on this painting 30 years ago, committed to the sky, kind of an anagram. It also could mean committed to this guy. And maybe it shows really the level at how much you care about someone. You're getting one tarot card only. The rest are all Danielesque. It's called wealth. But wealth, maybe some people think it just means money, and they might tell their clients, go play the lottery. It's got nothing to do with that. It has a lot to do with inner and outer wealth. And it seems to me you have a lot of that. So this vibration suggests you have wealth, inner wealth, and you're able to project it into the world. And as a result, the karmic expression back from the universe will be a treasure to you. I feel it's in the form of a guy's energy in your life, and it will keep expanding as your life goes on. And therefore, here's our prediction. Now that I understand who I'm reading, the prediction suggests two things. And this is interesting because it's just the way the night started hours ago, your past lives. And I'm convinced they go as far back as at least Egypt. You may even have been privy to treasured times, not just like I was just a average, I'm a Nophis, you're a doofus kind of Egyptian just cutting wheat in the field. I feel you were privy to something a little bit more special. I see a lot of golden energy around you and a lot of incense and a lot of more royalty. And I'm convinced you may even have lived in times that were connected to Greco-Roman Egyptian times. That was around the time of the Ptolemaic era, Cleopatra. She died about 69 years before Christ was born. She was the last of the Cleopatras. There were 7 of them. But so it's important to be able to place yourself in Egyptology. A lot of people can say they were this or that, or I get that all the time. People will say to me when I'm speaking publicly, I was burned as a witch in Salem. It's like, yeah, sure you were. No witch was burned in Salem, but apparently you were. Would you light a cigarette and go to sleep? At least know your history if you're going to have a delusion about your past life. But anyway, my point though is, not only are you getting Egyptian past lives, which, by the way, it's not because I would want to manufacture this, because that's what you're getting, but you're getting some sort of less the Greco-Roman Ptolemaic time. And you're getting a vibration that suggests at this time, I don't know, it's an interesting thing I wrote so many years ago on this imagery, but it might mean something for you. The one who seeks to remove the veil of Isis. So I feel it might be that it's interesting to even use the word ISIS now, because now it's corrupted currently by militant, God only knows what. But I can't stand the fact that they're using this beautiful name in such a way. I'm so glad that President Obama is not using it that way. He keeps calling it ISIL. I love that he does that because that pisses them off. They want to use that word ISIS. They want to steal it from the goddess, and he won't let them. And people that are quick to put him down don't realize what he's doing. He's brilliant. He's purposely not allowing them to get away with using ISIS. He calls them ISIL. It sounds worse, and they deserve it. But anyway, my point, though, is you're getting this sense of the one who dares or wishes to lift the veil of Isis, or the one who seeks knowledge, basically. Because this is a goddess she's a mother goddess. So we see you in living in perhaps ancient times. And again, I find it just so interesting that tonight is bringing this up. Most of my normal reads throughout the year do not say such things. But because it's October and we're getting so close to All Hallows Even, it seems that we're tapping into spiritual energy fields and past lives and things that normally might not just come up. Sometimes people's readings are simply, your car needs an oil change. But you're getting vibrations about the fact that you've lived a lot of lives yourself. Apparently a lot of people have tonight. The young spirits didn't call in today. Up there, my point, though, is, as far as the reading goes, there seems to be something that you must continue to then embrace this year and in the following years. This is number 4. This takes you all the way into potentially 2018, 19, who knows, maybe even 2020. It's that sense of saying to oneself, there's knowledge out there. And I'm honored to have been part of the show tonight because you strike me as very similar to me. We're eternal students, and we're eternal teachers, and we're jazzed by the knowledge. We're really enthusiastic, and it rubs off on others because it's not fake. We're not posturing. We really do get excited by the energies and all the things there are to discover. I feel this is still part of your greater destiny. And now more than ever, I'm convinced with a man on this journey with you that he's part of the journey that will help to guide you, because you get this committed to this guy. But interesting that it's also committed to the sky. So again, the wordless component of your reading is green, the color green. I might use it as a meditative color. I might even consider in the future emeralds or aventurines. I'd go with aventurine first over emerald. Emerald's intense. I use it, say, at the beach, but it is intense. Emeralds are feldspars. They do sparkle in the sunlight. They allow you to follow your bliss, but they also allow you to create a little bit of gain in your life. And I know some people have a problem with that. I got told off by someone at a recent charity I did. This person had the audacity to say to me, your power, you have no real power, because God doesn't give that kind of power to people. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, I'm at a freaking charity giving money to an event and being told by somebody that I have no power, that God did not give this to me. Well, you know what? I'll see you maybe in another lifetime, because you and I are very similar as far as our octave levels are concerned. We know that God, or the gods, the pantheon, the many facets of God, have given us special gifts, and we're not just armchair metaphysicians. We're not just supposed to sit there with it and mull it over. We're supposed to get it out there. And even if one person heard us speak tonight in their bedroom, it makes a difference. If there's one soul that could be lifted by the things that apparently you will continue to do in your lifetime. So carry on, be strong. I guess both of us have to just take care of the bodies we rent, the physical us, so we can be around long enough to continue to do what the divine plan is.
Wow, that was fabulous. Thank you for that reading, Daniel.
You're
was
welcome.
Amazing.
You're welcome. I'm sorry you didn't get your car needs an oil change, but you're not a mundane person. You didn't get a mundane answer.
That's really cool. Thank you. That was really awesome. Well, I got some more music to play, and I know it's been 2 hours, but are you feeling up to talking more, or do you just want to listen to music? I got a whole slew of music, and whatever.
I don't know how you feel about this, but for those that are listening, and I know some people just don't like to even hear their own voice on radio or on TV or anything. That's why sometimes some people don't call. They just want to drink in the energy. But I did have a little prayer I wanted to put out. Could I?
Yes, please.
All right, it's brief. It's very brief. But here's something I wrote, and I would just like to say it.
Sure.
Here we go.
You don't have.
Let us pray for equilibrium and for each other. Everyone is someone's brother, father, sister, mother, son, or daughter. The world we live in is pressing down upon us, and sometimes it feels like we are collapsing with it. But the time for pettiness is far behind us. Only meaningful warmth and unconditional love can guide us through the dark night of our dreams that seem to haunt us. We are stronger together. We can weather the changes, the magnetic fields and the electric forces. The world is becoming virtual, but our bodies are still so very fragile. There is a light cast from a fire of unknown origin. We will find out where it is coming from very soon. The door to the future floods the room in your mind. So be kind. It is time. And that's my musing.
Wow, that's amazing. I felt like a piercing in my chest when you said that, and I seen the color green.
Well, you're picking up that green vibe in your heart chakra.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's magic.
So, thank you. I appreciate that. And, it's 10:10. I have all the energy in the world. So if you want to play music or you want to talk or chat, whatever you want. If you're wiped out, that's okay too. I'm like the fish that never stops eating. I'm also like the energy field that never stops. I'm like the sun. I'm never extinguished.
That's awesome. You need that kind of energy for the work that you do. Because I'm sure. I mean, you're going to have to I know after when you do a lot of readings, you have to ground yourself and keep that sunshiny.
I find that when I speak at the Eyes of Learning on the 24th Friday night, it's my big presentation of the year, the pre-Halloween thing, and it's really out of this world. But I know that when Nancy and me are driving home, I'm like, you'd think that I would just shut my mouth and just like wind down. But I'm literally just the opposite. She's like, I can't believe you said that to that person, or you picked up that about that one. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so jazzed. And we're looking for a restaurant on Long Island that's still open that late at night at 11, which is it's hard to find because on Long Island things close at 8 p.m. And I'm like, we got to go somewhere and get something to eat because I'm still on fire. It takes me sometimes I'll even have to come down here at night and sit in the parlor and just still. That's why sometimes people will see me on Facebook at 4 o'clock. It's like I feel like sometimes I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I know that's not really healthy, but I'm actually a very healthy guy. I mean, you can see my pictures on Facebook. Somehow I've managed to be extremely healthy. I think it's because I eat well. I mean, speaking of duality, I mean, you and I are very metaphysical people. But as we also know, I mean, I've known this since I was a kid. I eat raw energy. Nancy and I grow our own organic vegetables all summer. I drink plenty of water. I don't smoke or drink. I cannot do this work if I'm not physically radiant, because I know I'm still only human, and I'm going to die one of these days. And as long as I have time, I got to make sure it's I'm at peak performance, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's so important to have every one of these aspects of ourselves nurtured. But yes, the simple point was, I'll talk with you as long as you'd like.
Cool, excellent. Well,
I entertain myself endlessly.
Well, this time of year, everybody's into magic too, as far as and you have a great deal to say about magic. I mean, you had the privilege and the honor of having Harry Houdini's tarot cards.
I mean, that was those clients of mine that let me temporarily have that divination deck. It belonged to a family. It was their heirloom. Their great-grandmother was the Harry Houdini's personal secretary in California. When he died, she was given his divination deck. Harry Houdini did not trust most mediums of his day, frankly, nor do I. I just find there are some I absolutely adore, and there are some that are walking cash registers, and it irks me. But Houdini got to the point where he wanted them ousted. I don't live that way karmically. I feel everybody gets what's coming to them. So you know what? You want to say? You want to start pretending you're talking to someone's grandmother? Go ahead. You can tell it to God someday. But I feel that's why Houdini's deck ultimately came to me, because Houdini allowed it. He trusted me. He was looking for the right medium or psychic. People have the wrong impression. People that don't know their history think he loathed mediums. That's not true. He just loathed the ones of his day. They were corrupt. He was looking for the right ones. He was ahead of his time in Aries. They're geniuses. He was the escapist of the universe. I mean, I don't know. His energy courses through my home, my consciousness. I call out to him often. And, yes, for them to have allowed me the privilege of at least having that divination deck for a couple of years meant the world to me, to use it. And he even created the business that made and printed the deck, because he didn't trust the companies that were even printing the deck. He wanted to have complete control over even who created the cards, if you can believe it. I find that to be awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. That's definitely an honor to be bestowed on you, and and rightfully so, because you are genuine. There's a lot of people out there that are not genuine.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's so hard because we live in a world where there are some out there that are extremely gifted, but they're flaky and far out, and therefore they're not of service to others. Then there are others that are not gifted at all, except making a ton of cash, and people think that if they charge that much, they're simply worth it. And then there are, of course, ones that are just very goodly and very gifted, and it's important to try to find those ones in your life. I mean, I don't really judge anybody per se. I don't want to cast a stone necessarily. Anybody can be my friend as long as they're not breaking someone's life in two. But and because I don't know, we're living in very unique times right now. We're becoming so spiritualized. This was the era I was looking for, where witches were being like speaking of witchcraft. It's moving up to an even higher level of mysticism. I love it. I just know that what comes with it too is a bit of corruption, and that's just what comes with the territory. Like even nowadays, when I hear this occasionally, which is sad, when people say to me, "Well, did you get money for what you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Then you're just blah 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 blah, and then you get critiqued. I don't think I have to try to tell people, but don't you understand energy for energy? Don't you understand when I do a reading, I'm giving a bit of my soul? Do you know how many decades it took me to get to this place in my consciousness? Can my soul be allowed to be worth this much to me? It's going to be regardless of what your answer is, Mr. Whatever, but it's sort of like, can't it be, though? Can you open up your awareness? Some can. A lot can. I read a lot of people. People book my Halloween reads a year in advance. October's always booked. If anybody gets read this month, it's because there's a cancellation or a car broke down or someone had a tooth problem. But, October's a big month for intuitives. But your heart's got to be in the right place. I know yours is. I mean, I've been offered a lot in my time, TV shows and other radio shows and all sorts of things. But if I pick up the wrong vibe, I won't do it. I don't care what they're offering me or what it's going to lead to or anything. It's like the vibe has to be right. And I've always felt a good vibe from you. I just want authentic people. And you're one of them, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I mean it's a great gift, and you're trusted with this gift, and you don't use it to hurt anybody. So, that's what I like about you, and you try to spread joy and happiness. Despite like I'm a Sagittarius too, and I know that we suffer
so funny.
A lot.
This was Sagittarius. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for that one guy, this was Sagittarius.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry. You were going to say what? You were saying what?
Oh, that's okay. What I was going to say is a Sagittarius, it's like a given that you suffer, to a certain degree, physically, mentally, all that jazz. And
is that true? Do you feel that way about Sages? Is that sort of like our lot in life? Because I'm a Sag as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's some sort of component of our karma that we suffer on a certain level?
Yeah, because in order to understand the human frailty, to understand others and to be able to help them once we get through our stuff, that's a great gift to give.
I don't know if you feel the way I do, but let me ask you about this. Even though I've had mobility problems in my legs since I was a child, I used to sometimes just fall on the floor and be unable to walk. Or this would happen at school or even on vacation with the family. It had nothing to do with the surroundings. It was particular to me. It ultimately led to me having to have all these surgeries. But I always felt great empathy for people since I was in my mother's womb. I could hear what was going on outside of her. And when I was a little boy looking into the eyes of my aunts and uncles, I always felt I never felt like I needed to learn a harsh lesson to care. I always did. It just seemed like there was still a lot of pain and hurt along the way anyway. And I don't know if I needed that to become a deeper or more sensitive guy. It just came with the life experience anyway. But then I wonder sometimes, isn't just everybody's life though full of pain to some extent, and our job maybe is to just rise above it and be joyful anyway?
Yeah, I believe so. And through, I think this goes for everybody too, no matter what you go through in life. There's like 4 steps that I say. You need to feel, heal, and then reveal.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And I'm thinking, everybody that goes through something needs to share with somebody else how they got out of it, how to get through it and everything. Definitely. So that's
so true, yeah. And I find that even though, when I do speak publicly, and I can, of course, go on and on and on, I mean, it's just endless with me. But I find it, as I get older, I'm really understanding and embracing that sense of really listening, I find that what used to be, when we're all younger, I think, we sometimes think in terms of what's the next thing we're going to say, and we're not listening to what someone else is saying. But when you do listen, I find now I'm correcting myself. If people say something and I didn't get the word, rather than just going, and just going on with my whatever my freaking agenda is, I'll ask someone, what was that word you just said? Or what was that thing you just mentioned? I never heard of that before. It's so important in your process to learn and to listen, especially to, of course, most importantly, the elderly. Because in our, at least in our American society, they're neglected, and they shouldn't be, because time alone has taught them something. They've seen a lot, and that's why I was so grateful when I was a kid to be raised by my great-grandmother and my grandmother in the same house, and then also be able to come home to my mom and dad and have all these different generations. Truth be told, their awareness plus their stodginess, the things that society had made them see a certain way that I deplored. But I don't know. I always felt like a 40-year-old trapped in a 4-year-old body. I was the firstborn, so I always felt like it was me and my parents were all friends, and the kids were the kids. So I felt my siblings were, they're my siblings, but me and Dad and Mom, we have a different trine going on. A completely different trine. Maybe because they were so young, so having me in their 20s, or very early 20s, I just felt like, well, we're all growing up together.
Oh, yeah.
Life is funny, how our perspectives.
Yeah, it's just been amazing. It's been an amazing ride. You know,
well, now it's really as though hitting the ultimate crescendo. I don't want to scare anybody, but all those years, that decade before 2012, when someone in the audience, there'd be up to hundreds of people in the audience, someone would inevitably ask me, "Will it be the end of the world on December 21st, 2012?" And I'd be like, "No." But now I feel though differently. I don't want to spook anybody out, but now that no one's asking that, now I worry. Now that the nuclear waste is in the Pacific Ocean, polluting it daily and washing on the shore up to the shores of California, and now that we're putting dents in the magnetic field, and now that we're polluting the gravitational energy field around the Earth with all these satellites and debris, and I'm much more worried now about. That's why, you know what, I'm certainly not here to diss the witches. Long live them, the witches. Long live anyone that's worshiping nature, because that's now at this point the only thing that potentially is going to save us. And I'm a little worried because I don't know if it's too late. But if these finds, these discoveries of antiquity are around, then maybe I don't know. Maybe this particular species may, like Atlantis, be wiped out, but the Earth maybe has a capacity to regenerate, rejuvenate, recreate itself. Aren't we all potentially just in each other's dream? Am I dreaming you and you're dreaming me?
Right.
And it's all just a vision inside. The whole consciousness is inside each one of our own souls.
Yeah, well, this is a holographic universe, so yeah.
So we have to dream a good world, dream a healed world. That's why I love Donovan so much when he wrote Atlantis all those years ago.
Oh yeah, and he was, I think way back then, like 40 years ago, back in the 60s, there were some really just wonderful pioneers.
Absolutely,
music.
That was the dawning of the Aquarian age.
Yeah. Yep.
I always felt like a little hippie. I always felt connected to it. I remember buying all of the Edgar Cayce books when really that was all there was at the time. Was being offered was if you wanted to know anything metaphysical, it was either Edgar Cayce or the mentalist, who I also is a mentor to me, Kreskin. I just loved the fact that they existed. Of course, now we live in a world where there's a plethora of metaphysical individuals. The only problem, like we said before, is some are bogus and some are very gifted and beautiful souls that exist in the world with us it's a matter of ferreting out or going with your gut as to what feels real and beautiful and truthful and what doesn't.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And to celebrate the magic of Kreskin and Houdini and you, I'm going to play Magic by Pilot.
Cool. I love that song.
Me too. We'll be right back in 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Love that song ever since I was a kid. That was Magic by Pilot. So, well, we spoke about magic. We spoke about witches, the history of Halloween. You know, Halloween is just, it's been a holiday that brings both fun and fear, and it's been certainly controversial. So, it's a holiday I always love, and it's because I can be artistic. It's a season. It's just a wonderful holiday where there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of connecting with people. So I like the good things about Halloween. So how about you, Daniel?
I love the fact that you called it controversial. That's so cool.
Thanks.
I love anything controversial.
Yeah.
Just give me anything that inspires creativity or reaction.
Yeah.
Look, let's face it. People love it because it's also just a moment now where the magic that exists in it still is. You can escape, and we as human beings love to be able to once in a while tap into that moment of just I don't know whether it's. I'm not too costumey at Halloween because every day for me is a costume. I mean, I'm a walking special effect. But I know that people like it for that reason, because they can kind of like access that superhero or that gender-bending energy or whatever it is that they kind of wanted to do all year and couldn't do, or craziness or monsters or zaniness.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm speaking to you, my cat Troy just pulled a Houdini and just ran out the front door and escaped. Okay. We never let the Siamese out, and now he's pulled a stunt. Oh, my God.
No. It's funny.
I think it's nature's way of saying I may have to run after all, because now I'm going to have to chase after the little bugger.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, go get your baby, and thanks again for joining me tonight.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, and maybe we'll do it again another time, because it was a real joy, and I loved the people that called tonight and got to connect with them. It was just wonderful. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, anytime, and I thank everybody for calling in, and I thank you especially for giving healing messages, not only to everybody, but to me also.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And I wish you a happy Halloween and a happy anniversary, because they fall on the same day, to you and Nancy.
Yeah.
And
yep. It'll be my 29th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's great. Celebrate in style.
Thank you. You enjoy it too. I'll be in touch.
Okay, me too.
Time to get that little cat that pulled a Houdini. Bye now.
Bye-bye. And that was the wonderful Daniel Akner, and I'm going to be here for a little bit longer. I'm going to be playing some music, Moon Dance by Van Morrison. That pretty much sums up this beautiful season of autumn. So I'm going to play Moon Dance by Van Morrison next.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance beneath the cover of October skies. You know the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. Yeah, I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seems to whisper and hush. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, oh, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. Yet I know now the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make you my own. And every time you just tremble inside. Then I know how much you want me that you can't hide. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? night's magic seems to whisper and hush. You know, the soft moonlight seems to shine in your place. Till I just have one more moon dance with you, oh my love. Till I just make some more romance with you, oh my love. One more moon dance with you in the moonlight on a magic night. La, 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 the moonlight on a magic night. Can I just have one more dance with you, my love?
That was Moon Dance by Van Morrison. Up next is Witch Queen of New Orleans by Redbone.
She'll put a spell on you. She'll put a spell on you. She's the witch queen of New Orleans. Of New Orleans. I'm gonna tell you a story strangers did not see, of zombie voodoo bleeding and the witch queen of New Orleans. She lived in a world of magic, possessed by the devil's cue. From a shack near the swamp I heard a much bread. Marie said a witch and true. She'll put a spell on you. She'll put a spell on you. She's the witch queen of New Orleans. Of New Orleans. Now more a nickel anyone could buy, voodoo of any kind. She had potions and lotions of entirely guaranteed to blow your mind. Early one morning into Monkey Swamp door, and Mary was waiting to ride. Though she'll never return, all the Cajun knew a witch queen never died. She'll put a spell on you. She'll put a spell on you. She's the witch queen of New Orleans. Of New Orleans. She'll put a spell on you. She'll put a spell on you.
And once again, that was Witch Queen of New Orleans by Redbone. Next up is Devil Woman by Cliff Richard.
I've had nothing but bad luck since the day I saw the cat at my door. So I came into you, sweet
Well, this concludes our show tonight. I'm going to leave you with Toccata and Fugue in D minor. And I want to wish you a frightful and delightful Halloween. Be careful, be safe, and most of all, have fun. Good night, everybody.